what we're talking about is that words matter. And when you write something, even when you text something, like I know you agonize over like, should I send that? Like, does this sound right? And then eventually you either delete it or you're like, okay, full send. Yes. And what a writer does is words are their primary tools of communication. So authors often use figurative language to express what they're thinking. And we do it all the time. So figurative language means that it's not literal. So you have literal language and you have figurative language. So I could say that I've had like 3 gallons of water today. I didn't literally drink 3 gallons of water, but I have had like 3 cups of tea. So what we're going to look at is simile, metaphor, and personification. These are examples of figurative language. So again, figurative language, it's not literal. It's not really happening. It's supposed to like make you get the gist or create a picture in your mind. So when someone says, I took a 1,000-hour nap during quarantine, they don't literally mean that they slept for 1,000 hours. If you literally actually slept for 1,000 hours, that's called a coma. It's not a nap. But what they figuratively mean is that they took a nap for a long time. So this is like the money slide right here. What we're looking at is figurative language and the way that we compare things and describe things. So similes, they use like, as, and then. Metaphors compare things, and they use words like was, is, are, were. And personification compares something that's not a human to a human. And so it gives person-like attributes to non-humans. So we're going to look and dive into that a little bit more. Okay, similes are comparisons showing likeness or similarities between two seemingly unlike things. They use like or as. So simile sounds like similarity, and so they show likeness. So what you do is you have a this thing and you have a this thing, and then you show why are they similar. So you could say, I slept like a rock. So you're comparing me to a rock. Why are we similar? Because we both sleep like boom. Okay, these are some other ones. So here's a simile right here. My wallet is like an onion. But it needs a little bit more of an explanation for you to get that full understanding and communicate what they mean. What they mean is when I open it, it makes me cry. So why is a wallet like an onion? Because they both have the power to make you cry. But when you cry with an onion, it's because of the oils being released. When you cry when you open your wallet, it's because there's no money in there. Okay. Here's another one. I ran like the wind. So there's me and the wind. What's similar about me and the wind? We were both super fast. Just ask my daughter. She was like, we're running so fast today on our walk. Okay. Other examples of similes. Sometimes they use as. So they have a phrase here. You're as cool as the other side of the pillow. Or as a murder hornet searches for a bumblebee, I scoured the kitchen for snacks. I looked for snacks. Other similes. Sometimes you could use then. So the portion of ice cream you gave me is smaller than a pimple on a flea. So you could imagine what a pimple on a flea would look like. It's colder than an ice cave on Mount Everest in here. So you can imagine that it would be really, really cold. Okay. So metaphors are just a little bit different. I'm going to make my video thing go away because it's annoying. Okay. Metaphors are a little bit different. So they're doing that comparison thing, but they're saying that one of them is the other. So it uses was, is, are, or a contraction. So Franklin has a heart of gold. We're saying Franklin's heart is gold. Mary's voice is music to my ears. He is a walking encyclopedia. you don't actually mean that this guy is a book walking around. It means that he is intelligent or that he has a lot of information in his brain. You are my sunshine. That is a metaphor. That you bring me happiness, like sunshine brings me happiness. And the world's a stage. So these are some examples. So a metaphor, it is a direct comparison between two things that are not similar, but it says that one is the other one, or it does the action of the other one. For example, you might also say, my sister is the devil. So here's a little bit of the difference between a simile and a metaphor. So this sentence reads, her heart is like gold. But if it's a metaphor, it would read, her heart is gold. They're both getting the same point across, but they're doing it in just a slightly different way. So the world is like a stage. The world is a stage. He eats like a pig is a simile. He is a pig is a metaphor. And so it depends on the situation. Okay. Personification. This is the last of the ones that we're going to talk about today. So we've got simile, metaphor, and personification. This is when human qualities or traits are given to non-human objects. So this means when a non-human is given feelings or actions like a human would do. So the sun smiled at me when I opened my windows. The sun is an inanimate object. It is not smiling at you. But we could say the sun smiled, and now all of a sudden the sun seems to like come to life and it has a character because it's being given person-like qualities. What about this one? The cat held a grudge against me all day. Some of you who have cats know that they do have personalities, but we would be describing the cat with our own set of like descriptions in this way. We don't actually know if the cat is mad, but we can say through personification that the cat held a grudge. Or the sad flower dropped its leaves. Flowers aren't actually sad. They don't have the ability to feel emotion, but they do if we're talking about personification, and we use that figurative language. So let's do, this is a funny one that takes that illustration a step further. So when life hands you lemons, you kill them, you crush them, and you drink their souls. Instead of when life hands you lemons, you get lemonade. So we're giving lemons human-like qualities. They don't have the ability to be killed or crushed or drink their souls. They don't have souls. And then over here we've got money talks. They say money talks, but mine just waves goodbye. Money isn't actually talking, nor is it physically waving goodbye, but we get the idea of what they're trying to say, that it seems like you never have any money because it just runs away. So we're going to do a quick recap, and then I'll give you the link for the Kahoot. So similes use like, as, or then to compare something. Metaphors compare two things using was, is, are, were. Or personification gives human-like qualities to something that is not human. So we're going to practice this with some Kahoot. Ready?